Welcome to the Rooted Goddess podcast with your host, Leslie Sprague, where we talk all things wellness, woo-woo, life, and everything in between. As a small-town mom of two amazing kiddos, I understand the challenges of what it's like to stay grounded and go after your dreams. My goal for this podcast is to inspire you to root down so you can grow stronger, rise up, and let your light shine bright so you can be the goddess you are truly meant to be. Think of this as your one-stop shop. It's happy hour with a gal pal while getting truthful and heartfelt about taking the steps forward to living your best life. Welcome to the Rooted Goddess podcast. I'm your host, Leslie Sprague, and I'm here today with Lori Ervin of This Is Life with Lori on Instagram. So her handle is at This Is Life with Lori. And she also has an amazing podcast called Level Up with Lori. So you can check her out on either of those two platforms. But let's dive into today's topic. We're here talking about mindset and business and the freedom that we get with our businesses. All right. So what would your talent be if you were Miss World?
I always joke that I actually, I was born to be on the stage, like singing and dancing and acting, but I wasn't actually born with any talents. I don't have those, I don't sew, I don't cook, I do dance in grown-up recreational dance, but I've never danced a day in my life before that. I sing like a frog, but since I'm not actually going to be in a Miss World contest, I feel like I can fudge a little bit. I would be dancing and singing at the same time.
Nice. I love it.
I was born to have talents, but without any.
Yeah. That I always say that I saved all my athletic ability for my brothers because they're very sporty, and
that was very nice of you.
Yeah, I'm just generous like that.
Very giving. Okay, I'll hit you with one. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Oh, I'm a small town girl, so I love the countryside, and I live in a small town right now. So it would definitely be in a small town somewhere. I love where I live. I love the small town feel because...
Did you ever watch Gilmore Girls?
Yes, but not for a while. I should revisit that.
You should. And you should want to live in Stars Hollow.
Oh, yes. I'm going to revisit that because when my husband's not around or he wants to watch his sports reruns or something, then I can totally, yeah.
It's feel-good TV at its finest.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. But I would definitely, I love seasons, but I would definitely go for a little bit shorter winter and a little bit warmer.
Yes, me too. I love the changing of the seasons, but I'm not a winter girl.
Yeah. I could do without it.
At least less of it. It could snow between December 21st and December 29th, and that's it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, as long as it's white for Christmas, and then
exactly.
we'll be good.
Exactly. Okay, you want to do 2 more questions? You can hit me and I'll hit you.
All right, sounds good. What food do you love that a lot of people might find a little odd?
Oh, well, okay. I actually just ordered this because my birthday's next week and I feel like I'm allowed to eat whatever I want on my birthday.
Yes.
One of my favorite snacks is sour cream and onion chips with dill pickle dip.
Oh.
Right? It conflicting tastes, but trust me, if you try it, you will be in love.
I'm gonna go to the grocery store like whenever I can, and I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna like send you a picture and be like, oh my God.
Yeah, like everyone listening to this right now, instead of like thinking I'm disgusting, try it. It will change your world. At least your taste buds.
Yes, yeah, it'll blow your taste buds' minds.
Yeah, exactly. All right. If you could have someone follow you around all the time, like a personal assistant, what would you have them do?
Oh, I definitely, like, if I could just, as a personal assistant, like, just if they could tidy up after, like, the kids and me, like, my poor husband, he, like, usually a lot of women talk about, like, the man being the messy one, but, like, I think I'm that person. So, I mean, if somebody could just, and like we were talking before we started recording, like the kids just get to free reign, like whatever works.
Yeah, they're like mini tornadoes.
Yeah, and trying to get them to tidy up after themselves, like that is a huge feat.
Huge feat. Totally. I could go for that too.
Yeah, and they don't even have to like clean. Like I find tidying is like 80% of cleaning your house.
100%. And sometimes I joke about, like, I have a cleaning lady.
Yeah.
But part of the point of having, because Wayne, my husband, always laughs, like, why are we cleaning for the cleaning lady? But part of like the essence of a cleaning lady is that there's one day of the week where you have to like pick everything up, put everything away.
Yes.
Like it's like a deadline for all those things. And it's amazing.
Yeah, it's the same like with us, and like same reason exactly. Like it, and my husband says the same thing. Like, why do we have to tidy up?
They don't get it, right? But they also don't do the tidying. So, well, yours does. Yours does.
Yes, he does help. Like he is very big help. But I'm like, they're not here to pick up our shit.
No.
They're here.
Because they waste their time doing that. They're not cleaning.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, goodness.
All right. So what I love about chatting with you is we're both super similar in the fact that we have network marketing businesses, and then we're growing coaching businesses or other types of businesses outside of those businesses.
Yeah.
That was a lot of businesses in one sentence.
Yeah, it was. Like, and I wouldn't really say that I have a network marketing business, because I am that person that I started there, and I sign up for like network marketing because I want the biggest discount. And
one of those.
Yes, I am that person for sure. But at the same time, like I do, like, I think Arbonne was the one, I've joined a couple, and Arbonne was the one that like I took the furthest, but never made it anywhere at the same time.
I think Arbonne is an amazing business model, because even if you don't have customers, you're still shopping your own boutique and filling your own house full of like incredible products.
Yeah, and like I totally saw the vision and like the like everything about it, like, and it drives me nuts when people say the quote unquote pyramid scheme, and I'm like, no, that doesn't even make sense. Like,
no, it really doesn't. I mean, let's look at an actual corporation. It's far more pyramid like than a network marketing company, where people can bypass those above them.
Yeah, exactly. So but yeah, definitely
an entrepreneur at heart then.
Yeah, for sure. It's like I've always like the freedom that I think that's what attracted me to network marketing, was the freedom of it.
Yeah.
And like the ability, and same with what like I'm doing now. Like I want to be able to not have worry about like my kids are playing in the background, and not have that stress on top of everything, have that flexibility, the freedom of time, and like all those things to like.
Yeah, I often think like I can't imagine going back to a 9-to-5 life. having experienced this life, only because I don't think I could manage all of those balls in the air in the same way that I can when I have the freedom of being at home.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, I can't wait for school to go back so that, like, I can have my me time back.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice having them home in bits.
Yeah. Well, I just keep focusing on the positives. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
won't get this time again. But yeah, it's a whole, like, I mean, learning how to work from home was one of my biggest challenges about working home, like figuring out what that looked like. And then now throwing your kids into the mix, that is a challenge and a half.
Yeah, for sure. And then, like, trying to make sure they're happy, and, like, at the same time playing teacher, that it's, and I couldn't imagine having a, like, 9-to-5 job and trying to do all this, or while trying to work from home. Like, at least we're accustomed to it. And when this all started, I had said, well, this is just gearing me up to prepare for summer. Like, I'm just getting ready for when the kids are home full time in summer.
Yep. I mean, every year I have the same adjustment phase, but I think because there's only a window of time, when it's the summer, it's a little bit of a different feeling. It's like, okay, I'm not going to work as much. I'm going to shift my hours to be different. This is a longer haul in that I can't just take off 6 months.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly. And
I like to work. I think at the end of the day, that's part of it too. Like, one of the reasons why I don't have a lot of skills and hobbies is because working is one of my favorite things to do. So if there's free time, I'm not knitting, I am building.
Yeah. And that like, I constantly am defined by, like, I don't want to be, I'm not just a mom.
No.
Like, and I'm not saying that those that are just a mom aren't, like, they are fabulous too. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that either, but I have so many more dreams and drives, and I want to, like, make an impact.
Mm-hmm. And I think that we need to release ourselves from that pressure, right? We're allowed to be humans and be moms. Yeah. We're allowed to be women and be moms and do all the things too, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, like, it can be a struggle to juggle all the things, but
yeah, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, I think, as women. I mean, I don't see the same challenges inside males. I don't think that they grapple with worrying about wearing different hats. When they're wearing that hat, that's what they are.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? My husband is working from home now too, and I just laugh because I'm like, your dad is, like, right downstairs, but yet you're coming to bug me all the time still.
Yeah, that's how they're positioned, right?
Yeah, like,
I'm sure so many listeners can, like, totally understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
What kind of tips would you give women who are all of a sudden finding themselves working at home, like right now? Like, how do you figure out, and I was talking to a client about this morning, like, how do you actually build in that time in your day where you can work, where you're not like wearing the hat of chef, cooker, cleaner, all of that? Like, how do you build that in?
I think you just kind of roll with the punches a little bit. Like, I tried to set a schedule and be like, from 9 to 10, it's creative time. And, you know, try to limit the amount of time they're on their devices. And from 1 to 2, it's school time. And while you're doing those things, I'm working. Like,
yeah.
But it didn't freaking work at all.
Because it probably just put more pressure on the situation.
Yeah, and, like, and I find, like, if I get pigeonholed, or, like, you try and put me in a box, I'm gonna resist you. 100%. But you just gotta go with the flow and know that some days you won't be like you'll be doing more work, the kids will be happy and playing and you'll be able to do it, and then other days you'll be more tending to the kids and things like that. So like last night I was recording another podcast with another fabulous lady, and then I had my coaching call. So I was working the evening from like 6:30 to 9. Mm-hmm. And this morning I was like, no, I'm just gonna take the morning and we're gonna do our homework this morning. And
right, so just kind of knowing what you're like, what you want to accomplish that day, and being flexible with you do it, how you do it, what it looks like.
Yeah, I think it a little bit more having a little plan for is work related, like a plan for the week of what you want to get done.
Well, I think like we need to do more of that, right? Like why when we set up our week do we have 50 things on there that need to get done? You really only need to set 2 or 3 things that you need to move forward with that week.
Yeah.
And more likely to happen.
Taxes has been on my mind for like a long while, but I've actually only put it on my to-do list. Like last week, it didn't get done. And then this week, it's on my to-do list again. I mean, it's only Tuesday at the moment, so we will see if it gets done. But yeah, if it doesn't get done, it's okay.
Yeah. I find that for me, I know what absolutely has to get done, and then those are the things that I start with first.
Yeah.
Like what will have the most impact, B, what is actually due, and like what appointments are happening, and then I work around those.
Yeah, exactly. And then you make it work. You just kind of have
the word you just used though is work too, right? Because I think it's so easy to get like carried away and not end up getting anything done.
Yeah. But at the same time, like you have to look at the kids in a sense too. Like one of my main feelings that I want to feel this year is like I want to have fun. I want things to seem like it's play. Mm-hmm. And that's challenging to do too. So like I try and remind myself that, you know what, no, go have fun with the kids. It's okay. Like things can wait.
Like we chose to work from home so that we could have more time with the kids.
Exactly.
Be more present in our lives.
Yeah, and have that, like my kids have been fabulous. And they all have their moments. We all do. I was quite frustrated with them yesterday, but at the same time, like it just is. I don't think there's any good or bad. We make it work, and like everybody does. Everybody does the best we can, and that's all we can ask.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. Very good advice. Release the pressure.
Yeah, because pressure doesn't do anybody any good. It just makes you feel shitty about yourself, and or you start comparing about what other people are doing. And
our quickest way to suffocate yourself is to look at people's Instagram lives and think that's real life.
Yeah, I did that the other day. Not Instagram live, but my kids have tablets. I try and limit it, but some days they're on it more than they should be, and it's part of the balance. And I asked people on my Facebook, I said, hey, what do you guys use to monitor and control the tablets? Like I've tried Family Link, it's pulling my hair out. And then there was comment, and maybe it was the way I worded it, but there was comments that kept coming in that, oh, my kids don't have tablets. And I went right down the rabbit hole. I'm like, I wasn't asking if your kids had, I'm just asking. Yeah, maybe it was the way I worded it. I don't know, and I welcomed that in, but I went right down that rabbit hole. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, this is what I have to do, right?
Well, if it makes you feel better, we have tablets and we have switches. So, like,
yeah, I get it. It's rather than have the fight, like my daughter wanted one for her birthday, so she used her birthday money and some of her Christmas money and things like that. And then you knew it wasn't going to fly for the other one not to have one. So it just is. And yeah, I deleted the post and I'm like, I don't need to constantly see people telling me they don't have their tablets. So I deleted it. I'm like,
nope. I don't need to read any of that either.
Yeah. So it just was. And it was probably innocent enough on the other people's end too, right? Like it was just all my crap that was coming up.
Yeah, totally. They meant nothing by it.
Yeah. And that's where working with like your mindset and your things, working through these things. And I don't.
I'm like, because you're very into yoga and I want to hear about your membership group, but like, is that one of the tactics that you use for working through these kinds of things?
Well, actually, probably it should be something but it's, as I'm sure you can attest to, for me, I find it easier to coach somebody else on what to do than to follow the steps myself, because I just deleted the post and I tried to let it go. But now that I'm talking about it again, it's making me shift my perspective a little bit. And that is one of the things that I try and get people to do, is to like look at yourself first before looking at everybody else.
Right.
Because a lot of times you're attracting this stuff into your life, and you need to experience it in order, like there's a reason you're living it.
Yeah, and we see things and we hear things and we experience things through our own lens, right? It's not necessarily the way that the other person meant it or intended it, or even the way that it actually is. It's through the way we are viewing it and feeling it.
Exactly. Like you hear that so many times, like a person needs to, well, we were talking about this before the call. I totally switched gears here, but like I've been working on my visibility issue for like so long, and I reserve myself in a sense because I think I don't want to put, for some reason, I don't want to put myself out there, but at the same time, I know that people need what I have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm holding my own self back. So I need to look at that deeper and figure out, okay, what is going on here?
Yeah. And so how do you do that?
Probably by journaling. Journaling has been a big lifesaver for me lately. Mm-hmm. It's something, it's funny because it's something that I never really delved into before, but I've known about for so long. And that's one of those things, yet again, like I've known about it for so long, but I never applied it. But at the same time, this year, I'm like, okay, no, I'm tired of playing small. I want to create the life that I want to create. And that, like, I'm going all in. I've hired coaches, and this is what I need to do. Yeah. So this is what they're telling me to do. They're getting the results, so I need to follow it. And when I was in network marketing too, I didn't do what they told me to do, or I would do it half-assed.
Yeah, and I think there's two buckets people in network marketing can fit into, right? Like those that look at other people's success and they're almost like, I can't do that, or why am I not doing that? But then others that like look at other people's success and think, well, if they can do that, that means that I can do it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so like with the bad stories that you hear about network marketing, aren't really true because they're skewed by the fact that the person didn't work the business properly.
Yep, and that's exactly why I didn't do do anything with any of the ones I joined. I didn't work it properly. And
yeah, I respect so much when people leave because it's not for them, but they understand that it wasn't the business model, it was them. It's just, from a network marketing standpoint, it gets frustrating when you constantly hear the business doesn't work, when you absolutely know there's no business model out there like it.
Yeah, it's true. And then the other part, it's funny because starting this business, there's that pattern of how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yes.
And the same pattern is I can see the same pattern happening again, but I'm more aware of it and I'm more determined
to likely break it.
Yeah, I'm more determined to tell that pattern to go pound salt and get out of my way because I'm tired of playing small.
Well, and it's just little action steps every single day. Like I always say, it's not the big sprints that create success. It's the daily habits, the small habits that you do every single day. And likely for you and getting over that vision thing, it's just starting to show up even when you're not comfortable and doing it over and over and over again until it feels comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
We trick ourselves into thinking that just because people jump on social media live or they do lives or whatever, that they feel good about it, when oftentimes they're just as insecure as the person not doing it.
Yeah, that's totally true. It's funny because I just in part of my journaling session for yesterday, it was do a master class. My inspired action was do a master class Thursday at 4. I'm well, I guess I gotta post this and do it. I gotta listen to that intuition because it's guiding me to get out of my own way. So
yeah, totally. And once you do one, it won't be perfect, but you'll learn, you'll grow. Good things will come from it, and you'll do another one, and the next one will be better, and the next one will be better, and the next one will be better.
Exactly. And it just that sort of fake it till you make it thing.
Yes.
And
I always say you can't fake it till you make it, but you can absolutely fake confidence until you have resolute confidence. And I don't even know if resolute confidence actually even exists.
Yeah. Well, and that in a sense, there are multiple versions of us. And so this is one of the things that I talk about in my Kula, my membership program, is that there are multiple versions of us and we can tune into the version that we most want to become and tap into that energy and view life. So when I'm doing this business a lot lately, I'm stepping into that higher level self, that person that is my goal, where I want to be. And I'm looking at things from her viewpoint. Because then I get rid of my own shit, so to speak. And she's been there. She's done that. It kind of, in a sense, takes that pressure off a little bit. So it's one of my kind of favorite practices. I even interviewed mentally my membership program, and I got a lot of clarity last week and figured out exactly what they needed. And it was really, really good. I'm very much everything has a vibration. If I were to ask you to picture your first car, guaranteed there's an image in your head, and that's a vibration. That's if I were to ask you to picture your aunt, guaranteed there's an image that pops in your head. But at the same time, there is that version of you out, and that's the same piece. It's the same concept.
Right.
So when you do that, when you tune into her, sometimes it's writing it out as if you are her, like why you want to do this, as if you are her, but then like physically almost stepping into her body, if that makes sense. And I'm not scaring people away with that comment.
It is funny. I hesitate often to talk about this stuff too, because like I firmly believe it at my core, but I do know that like if you had said some of this stuff to me 3 or 4 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, that's right.
She's a whack job. And
yeah, crazy. Even sometimes Wayne will look at me and I'll be like, oh, I'm just asking the universe for this, and he'll be like, Lori, you are ridiculous. And he loves my ridiculousness, but like I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna ask the universe for this. We need this. He's like, why don't you ask the universe for a case of beer too? Because I'm almost out.
But that's like, he still says that. I find that funny in a sense, because
he's just like playing. I think it's funny because I think in some ways he believes in it too now. Like, yeah, it's such a part of my core and who I am now that he at least gets that and I think a lot of this stuff doesn't necessarily matter if it works or if it doesn't work. It matters that it means something to you, and it matters that it has an impact on you, and it matters that it changes things for you. It changes the way we show up. It changes the way that we talk. And that's all that really matters. Yeah, 100%. None of it else matters. No, like my psychologist that I used to say to me, it doesn't actually matter. Like sometimes the best thing you can find is a really great placebo. And if that placebo works for you, then it works. Yeah. Well, and it's, oh, nuts. It's gone. Now it might come back, but it's gone for the moment. That's okay. So why don't we leave everybody with some kind of like parting advice or wise wisdom? What do we got? All right. I think if there is ever an inclination that you want to join that business, or you want to create something, create your dream life, follow your dreams, just do it. Just do it. And I think sometimes what we need to understand is that little nudge really is the universe talking to us, telling us that there's something out there for us, and we need to follow our heart. Yeah. Follow our hearts. Yeah, because like I don't want to look back on my life and wonder what if I didn't follow this. Like I don't want to. No, because one thing leads to another, right? One thing leads to another in all senses of the word. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. I love that. I feel like that is like the perfect place to end, because you just, whether it's network marketing or it's another kind of business, or if you're in network marketing and you want to start another secondary income, whatever it is, listen to your intuition, trust your gut, and just try. Go out there and try it. And this might fail, but it might lead you to the next best thing. Exactly. Like, yes, I couldn't agree with that more. If you just hold back and never experiment, like, you're never gonna. What fun is that? Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, just have fun with life, and life will have fun back with you. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Follow your dreams. Yeah. Do it with love. Yes, definitely add more love and trust. Yeah. The universe will show up for you, and it's never let you down before. Nope. I completely agree. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much for doing this with me. Yeah, thank you. This is awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you so much for listening, and let me give you a virtual hug, big squeeze, as a token of my appreciation. At the very least, I hope you had some fun while listening, and maybe even learned a thing or two. And bonus points if I got a chuckle out of you. If you like this episode, it would mean the world to me if you could leave me a 5-star review, or if you know someone who could benefit from listening, share it on your Insta stories and tag me at Leslie's Yoga and Wellness. Subscribe to this channel if you want to stay up to date with new episodes. By doing these things, it helps to get my podcast noticed so that people who need to hear my message are more attracted to it. Please feel free to stop by my website, lesliespragg.com, and grab a copy of my free Mom Self-Care Kit. While you're there, grab a free few yoga classes. Namaste, goddesses. Until next time.